Hey boys and girls, let's go ahead and continue on with Junie B. Jones Loves Handsome Warren. In chapter 1, we met Warren and he is making the girls crazy. So we've got Lucille, that Grace, and Junie B. Jones very interested in getting to know Warren a little bit better. So let's pick up where we left off. Lucille sits next to me in room 9. I kept on being nice to her because I wanted to meet that handsome boy, of course. We want to be friends again, Lucille, huh? Want to be friends again like we used to be? That would be nice of us, don't you think? No, said Lucille. You only want to be friends so you can steal my new boyfriend. I did a big breath at her. Yeah, only how can I even steal him, Lucille? I asked. 'Cause you are way more beautifuler than me. Remember that? Remember how beautifuler than me you are? Lucille remembered. She fluffed herself. Then she showed me her new lacy socks, $8.50, not including tax, she said. I bugged my eyes out at them. Wowie, wow, wow. Those are some fancy feet you have, madame. After that, I showed Lucille my socks too. See, Lucille, see mine? They are very saggy and droopy. That's because last night me and my dog Tickle played tug of war with those. And he got drooly on them. Lucille made a face. Ooh, she said. I know they are ooh, I said back. That's what I've been trying to tell you, Lucille. I'm a big pig. And so how can I even steal your boyfriend? Just then, Lucille looked nicer at me. I scooted my chair closer to see her. Right now we are friends again, right, Lucille, right? I said. And so now you can introduce me to handsome Warren, because I won't even steal that guy. Lucille fluffed herself some more. I don't know, I'll think about it, she said. I clapped my hands real thrilled. Then I stood up on my chair. Grace, hey Grace, I hollered. Lucille said she'll think about it. Just then I heard a different voice. Junie B. Jones, what are you doing? It was my teacher. Her name is Mrs. She has another name too, but I just like Mrs. and that's all. I smiled, kind of nervous. I was trying to get a message to Grace, I said very soft. Mrs. hurried to my table. Never, ever stand on your chair, Junie B., she said. You could fall off and break something. Yeah, shouted a meanie boy named Jim. She could break the floor with her hard head. I made a fist at that kid. Plus also, I could break your entire bean brain, I hollered back. Mrs. plopped me in my seat. That's enough, she grouched. I mean it, Junie B., not one more word. After that, I stayed in my chair very good, and I did my work. And I did my spelling, and my arithmetic, and my printing, and I also drew a sausage patty on my arm. Only that wasn't even an assignment. That is called working on your own. Pretty soon, Mrs. clapped her hands together. Okay, everyone, it's almost time for recess. Pass in your papers and line up at the door. Mrs. looked at me. And please, let's be ladies and gentlemen about it. Ladies and gentlemen means no trampling thy neighbor. It's a 10 commandments, I think. Me and Lucille held hands. Now you're going to introduce me, right, Lucille? Now I'm going to meet that handsome boy. Just then, Grace ran up behind us. I was happy to see her. Grace, guess what? Lucille is going to introduce us to handsome Warren, 'cause you and me are big pigs, that's why. That Grace looked upset at me. I am not a big pig, she said. I quick whispered in her ear. Yeah, only we're not really big pigs, Grace. We just have to say we're big pigs or else Lucille thinks we'll steal her boyfriend. Got it? That Grace got it. I am a giant stink hog, she said to Lucille. And so after that, all of us skipped to the swing set, very happy. We sat down and waited for room 8 to come out. We waited a real long time. Then all of a sudden, roommate opened their door, and handsome Warren came out of there. Lucille ran to him and grabbed his hand. She pulled him to the swings to meet us. That is Grace, and that is Junie B. Jones, she said to handsome Warren. He waved very cute and friendly. I quick hided behind my hands, 'cause all of a sudden I felt shy of that guy. I peeked through my fingers. Peekaboo, I see you, I said. And then I laughed and laughed, 'cause I'm a laugh a minute, that's why. Only too bad for me, 'cause after a while I couldn't even stop. I was out of control, I think. I holded my sides and fell on the ground. And then I rolled and laughed, all in the grass. Handsome Warren looked nervous of me. He backed up. What a nutball, he said very soft. Then he turned around and walked away, and Lucille and that Grace walked with him. Chapter 3, Not a Nutball. Mrs. blew her whistle. That means come in from recess. Lucille and that Grace ran to get me, 'cause I was still in the grass, that's why. Lucille was happy and sparkly. Didn't you love him, Junie B? Wasn't he so handsome? He was even handsomer up close, don't you think? He was nice, too. Wasn't he nice? That Grace was happy and sparkly, too. He said he liked my high tops, she told me. He liked my dress, said Lucille. And he said I was a nutball, I said. Lucille twirled all around. Not me, she said. He didn't say I was a nutball because he loves me. That Grace jumped high in the air, too. Me too, he loves me too, she said squeally. Just then, Lucille stopped twirling. She crossed her arms. No, Grace, she said. He does not love you too. He only loves me, 'cause I saw him first, and you're not allowed to steal him away, remember? That Grace crossed her arms too. I am not stealing him away, Lucille. He just automatically loves me on his own, and there's nothing I can do about it, she said. I tugged on Lucille's dress. How come he said I was a nutball, do you think? Why did he have to say that dumb thing? Lucille didn't pay attention to me. She just kept on being mad at that Grace. I knew it, she grouched. I knew this was going to happen, Grace. You're trying to steal my boyfriend. Junie B said you wouldn't, but you are. She looked down at me. Tell her, Junie B. Tell Grace she can't steal my boyfriend. I looked curious at her. I am not a nutball, am I? Am I a nutball, I said. I am not a nutball. Just then, that Grace leaned close to Lucille's nose. I can love anybody I want to, Lucille, she hollered in her face. Oh, no, you cannot, Grace. Yes, I can too, Lucille. Uh-oh. I tapped on both their ankles. How many think I'm a nutball? Raise your hand. Just then, Mrs. blew her whistle again, and so I stood up from the grass and I walked to room 9 all by myself, because I couldn't stop thinking about being a nutball, that's why. I thought about it the whole rest of the day. I didn't even talk. Not at show and tell, not at snack time, not even when I got on the bus to ride home. That Grace sat down next to me. She was happy and sparkly again. I know he loves me better than Lucille, she said. I'm positive he does, and he hasn't even seen how fast I can run yet. She poked me with her finger. Why do you think who do you think he likes better? Me or Lucille? Tell the truth, she said. I still didn't talk. That Grace jingled me. How come you're not talking, Junie B? She asked. How come you're not answering me? Are you sick? Do you have a sore throat? Just then her eyes opened real wide and her whole mouth came open. Oh, I know why you're not talking. It's because you're upset, right? You're upset that he called you a nutball. I spinned around at her very quick. I am not a nutball, Grace. I am just a regular normal girl, and I don't even know why that boy called me that. I do, said Grace. I know why he called you that. It's because you couldn't stop laughing, and you fell on the grass and you rolled all around down there. I stared at her. Yeah, so? So that's how nutballs act, said that Grace. And I should know, 'cause I have a nutball right in my own personal family. I raised my eyebrows. You do? I said. Yes, she said. My 2-year-old brother Jeffrey is a nutball. Every time we go to the mall, we have to put him on a leash, or else he tackles people. And then he hides in the clothes and security has to come get him. She looked at me very suspicious. Did you ever do that, Junie B? Did you ever tackle people and hide in clothes and security had to come? I quick looked away from her, 'cause that is my own personal beeswax. Jeffrey is not allowed to eat sugar anymore either, said that Grace. My mother thinks the sugar gets him all jazzed up. She raised one eyebrow, very curious. Do you eat sugar cereal for breakfast, Junie B? Do you? She asked. I looked away again, 'cause guess what? More of my own personal beeswax. That's what. All right, we're going to stop there. Yikes, these girls.